I'm going to preface this by saying I am a fan of Bring It Studios, therefore any opinions or critiques you have on what I'm going to say are immediately invalid. Hi, my name is Juno, welcome to Grimejaws, the place you go to listen to a certified yapper yap. With that being said, MP3 players, am I right? iPods, anyone? We're living in a bit of a resurgence right now where people are ditching subscription services like Spotify in favor of going back to MP3 players. And do I blame people? Absolutely not. I've held this opinion for a long time and I will take it to my grave that physical media is good. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that CDs and DVDs or Blu-rays are the best way to enjoy content, more so of what they stand for. Do you remember when you actually owned what you bought instead of just paying for a license to temporarily listen to it ad-free? Those were some good times, weren't they? My first smart device growing up was an Apple iPod Touch 4G. And I remember back then that if I ever wanted to listen to a new album, or if I wanted a specific song, I would just go and buy it on iTunes for like 99 cents a pop, and I would own it forever. Nowadays, you gotta deal with Spotify and Apple Music and just pray that your music doesn't get removed. I personally do not use Apple Music despite me being a hardcore Apple glazer. I do, however, religiously use Spotify for music while I draw. So I guarantee you what I'm about to say is going to resonate with a lot of people. You ever been there scrolling through your playlist trying to find the perfect song to kick your shuffle off, only to find out that one of your songs that you really wanted to listen to was suddenly grayed out on Spotify? Not only does that upset you, the person who wanted to listen to the song, but that also hurts the person behind it. I mean, I pay for this service. If I add something to my playlist, it shouldn't be my problem if Spotify decides to remove it, yet it is anyway. And I don't agree with that. And that's not even scratching the surface of the issue, because now there is risks of you having to upload your ID to Spotify because of the Kids Online Safety Act. Or whatever it's called, it's something about kids' online safety. But you know what? I love supporting my local small businesses, and I also love supporting indie artists. And what do a lot of indie artists do, and what do a lot of small businesses around me do? Sell CDs for really cheap. So you betcha I've just started to go to these local businesses, buying their CDs or ordering artist CDs online, and just burning them to my computer and then putting them on an MP3 player because I can listen to that anytime I want to, ad-free, with no risks of it being taken away from me. And I support an artist or a local business that I really enjoy, so it's a win for everyone. I actually own 2 MP3 players. I got a little dingus Akpatek one off of Amazon. It's alright. This is an Akpatek. I couldn't get videos to work on this thing just by having a very obvious video folder, but at least it's got a lanyard. I like lanyards. Lanyards are cool. But more recently, I purchased this Any Oasis Y1 off of Amazon as well, and it's closer to an actual iPod. Oh yeah, baby. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't use the Akpatek one that much anymore because compared to the Any Oasis one that I have, it's actually rubbish. But I mean, I'm not gonna go into details about my problems with these specific MP3 players because these are not reviews and they're not sponsored. I will admit though that I have had very little issues with the Any Oasis, and I believe if you don't have the money to go and get an actual iPod off of eBay or something, then it is a good alternative. I mean, it plays your music, you can even put some videos on there. I mean, looky here, I put the Sonic OVA on here just because I really like the Sonic OVA, and I do an annual watching of it because I like it. I fucking love talkies. It plays music just fine, it shuffles them, it stores them by artist, it stores them by album. Pairing these with a really good set of earbuds or even a set of audiophile headphones and you're set. I specifically have a set of K-Bear KO1 IEMs that I've been using for these and they are so nice. And while you could technically put all of your music directly on your phone and just listen to it like that, there's a certain feeling of disconnect when it comes to listening through like a dedicated music device that feels really good for the mind and body. Like, sure, I could pop in my Raycons. I unironically own Raycons, by the way. No, I am not sponsored, but hey, if you want to sponsor me, my email's down below. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I will unironically pop in my Raycons and I will listen to Spotify. But then if someone texts me or if someone calls me, then my music listening experience is ruined. This is specifically bad if you're an artist like me and sometimes you just want to doodle while laying on the couch or something and you don't want any interruptions, but suddenly you get an interruption and it ruins your entire flow. And while sure, you can still get interrupted when listening out of an MP3 player with your phone ringing, it is not as jarring and it feels like you have more of the choice to ignore it if you so choose. For example, if I'm laying on the couch and my phone starts ringing, but that ringing isn't directly into my ears through my headphones or my earbuds, I'm less likely to care. I'm the person who has a specific ringtone for certain people on my phone, so if it's someone important that I don't want to ignore the call of, then I'll be able to distinguish it. I've been trying to break out of this habit of relying on social media. I mean, even if I'm listening to music and trying to enjoy some free time, if I'm doing it through my phone or through my computer, I'm still gonna be stuck there swapping through social medias, scrolling them, and just not being productive or not being in a good mindset because social media is very toxic for your mind. So genuinely, it is a very nice way to disconnect. And I didn't even realize this until I started listening to music out of my MP3 player, but Spotify just doesn't have good audio quality. I'll listen to the same song on Spotify, and then I'll listen to it through my MP3 player, and I'll use the exact same headphones that I use on my computer, and it sounds better coming out of the MP3 player, like there's less compression going on. So if you're a big music nerd like me, it helps you appreciate these things that you really can't hear when they're compressed out of Spotify. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been out on a walk listening to music through Spotify, and because I'm listening through my phone, I get interrupted a million times by texts, by calls, Discord notifications, what have you. It's so annoying. And while yes, I could technically just throw my phone onto Do Not Disturb or silent mode, there's a weird sense of dread that comes with that. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but I really don't like putting my phone into Do Not Disturb. Mostly because I just get super anxious when I have a bunch of notifications piled up, and if I wake up in the morning and just see a bunch of notifications that I gotta scroll through just to find out if something important happened, it just bothers me so much. So needless to say, I'm very autistic. But this only really matters if you're hardcore into listening to music and just having that in an isolated space. If you're just the average person that just throws on music just for no reason other than to listen to it, this isn't gonna matter that much to you. But me personally, if it came down to the point where Spotify was forcing me to upload my ID in order to continue using a service that I have paid for years, I would drop it in a heartbeat. And I feel like it is a good idea to have a disconnect just in case the worst case scenario happens. And even if the worst case scenario doesn't happen, it's just really nice to have an isolated way to enjoy media without it having to come from your phone or computer. I genuinely believe that people need to start disconnecting from social media, as I cannot scroll through Twitter or TikTok or anywhere online without seeing people just in a negative mindset, and then it rubs off on me, and then it disturbs my mindset and my workflow. And that's just been plaguing the internet for years now, and I think this would be a decent way to at least help some people. And look, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I was born in the year 2000. Maybe I'm just old when I say this, but I really just like MP3 players in general. I mean, I grew up in that golden era of them. I like the idea of just having a music listening device in my pocket with my earbuds coming out. It's just very aesthetically pleasing to me. And look, you don't even have to go and get CDs in order to use an MP3 player. I just do it because I like supporting my local businesses and I like supporting indie artists. I mean, hell, recently I ordered Ivy Comb's Classic Collection CD, and goddamn, Ivy Comb makes some really good music. If you haven't listened to Ivy Comb, go listen to Ivy Comb. But if you for some reason don't have the money or the ability to go and get CDs, just sell the 7 Cs online. You have plenty of Spotify converters that'll convert your playlist to MP3, or you can do the exact same thing for YouTube videos if it's not available on Spotify. Do I recommend doing this? Absolutely not. But I can't say that I haven't, especially if you have an artist that you really like the music of, but they are like a terrible person. Go wild. So in conclusion, MP3 players are good. Spotify, bad. Subscription services, bad. Thank you all for watching. My name is Juno, and I will catch you all in the next Yap session.